Yes, so I would say I met, and I believe everything happened for a reason.
Okay. Mhm.
So I don't do a lot of collaborative shoots anymore, but there was a casting call, and it said they wanted to do a shoot out in Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and make the drive. I don't know, something just told me. I wasn't getting paid for this, but it was just a collaborative effort.
Right.
I drove out there, I did the shoot, and she happened to have two friends in the shoot. One was a stylist, and the other one's a makeup artist. And I started talking about my Rediscover campaign, and they fell in love with it.
Okay.
They didn't have time to join last year, but they were actually the first two women to join this year. And both of them dealt with cancer. So the stylist, her ex-husband actually passed, well, not ex-husband, late husband, passed away from cancer.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and then the makeup artist, she actually dealt with breast cancer, and she was able to overcome that. But their friendship led to them creating a nonprofit where they go out and they give cancer patients makeovers.
Wow.
So it's stories like that that inspire me. It's like the things that you went through, now you're paying it forward to others and you're helping them feel beautiful through probably the worst time in their life.
Wow.
So it's stories like that that I'm like, this is why I want to shine light and, tell these stories.
That is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you never know what somebody's going through, like you said, and for you to have this in the middle of all that, wow. Just, I mean, you're helping people like have a reason to keep going, to have a reason to like smile and live and just believe in themselves. Like, all right, how are my experts doing? This is Elite from Brands Experts Podcast, and we have Amber back again, right? She has multiple brands, right? So shout out to her. She's the first brand expert with multiple brands, right?
Oh, I feel special.
Right? Hence the name Brands Experts, right? Because there's multiple brands and there's multiple experts. You know, as time goes on, you'll notice that she'll have other experts working under her and with her in collaboration, coming in to do interviews together and things like that. So when you start to see those kind of things, you'll remember kind of who's in charge and running and founded these brands, right? These incredible brands that she created. And we want to thank her again for that, for creating multiple brands, right? Mm-hmm. Right now we're going over the Rediscover campaign,
yes.
Right? It's an incredible brand, right? That focuses on women self-help, right? And you know, it's an incredible industry because a lot of times people can feel lost and they don't know what to do. But Amber is creating something where she can create that resource for people to get help and, you know, continuously accomplish goals and do those things. So we'll let her introduce herself, her brand, and let you guys know exactly what they do.
Hi, my name is Amber Bogard. I'm a professional photographer, and through my passion for photography, I created the Rediscover campaign, which is my purpose in life, and it's to highlight women on their journey of self-love and rediscovery and transformation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to know a little bit about you, where you're from, what your upbringing was like, and what got you into the self-help industry.
So I'm from the Antelope Valley, Lancaster, Palmdale area. My parents did definitely move around a lot, so I was back and forth from the valley up here to Lancaster. But I would say I'm from out here. So, because I went to, most of my life has been out here. And how I got into more of like the self help with the Rediscover is because there was a time that I really felt lost and I lost myself. I actually put down the camera for a bit. Um, and one day I woke up and I'm like, I love photography. Why am I not doing it? I feel depressed. I feel lonely. I feel isolated. So I wanted to create the Rediscover campaign, not only for myself, but also to shine light on, sometimes women need that extra support and love and helping them just tell their story. So yeah, I think that's kind of how I jumped into the Rediscover campaign and wanting to get in touch with myself.
Okay, well, thank you for that because
Mm-hmm.
you've already helped so many women, and that's helped families, and that's in turn helped kids and communities, states, and you've done so much
Mm-hmm.
work with the program already. So we just want to thank you for that, for being as forward thinking as you are to do something like that, to capture these moments with these incredible ladies,
Mm-hmm.
and showcasing the great work that they're doing, and also tying it into the projects that you create with the Rediscover campaign. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for that. It's really incredible.
Thank you.
All right, like no one's out here doing that. What you're doing, it's one of one. So when you recognize an expert that's doing something like that, recognize them, highlight them. Provide the flowers for them while they can smell them, because
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what tomorrow holds, but just letting people know you appreciate them could be the push they need to keep going, to inspire someone else, to
Mm-hmm.
let other people know in their community, hey, come join what we're doing. There's something special going on over here.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of the stuff you sent me, the pictures, some of the videos, I know that you probably already met so many incredible women,
Mm-hmm.
some life-changing stories, and also some people that have felt like, because of you and the Rediscover campaign, that they've been able to overcome some very difficult hurdles and things like that.
Yes, I definitely have a few examples too, and
Okay,
it's inspiring to me to continue to move forward with the campaign.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your position at Rediscover campaign?
So I am the creator of it, and just like my photography business, I do everything right now. I run everything. So I'm the photographer. I'm the creative director. I'm the interviewer.
That's right.
You know, for these spaces, for these women to actually feel comfortable to tell their story on camera, because it's more interview style. Um, for the gala, because we have an annual gala, I'm the planning committee. You know,
You're running the show,
I am.
right?
I'm doing all of it right now.
But as Rediscover campaign blows up, takes off, um, conferences in different states, and
Mm-hmm.
really does its thing, you are going to have to be hiring,
Yeah.
managers and
Mm-hmm.
department specialists, and these kind of things. But as of right now, this is why we get to get Amber Bogarts here, is because she is doing everything. So she's going to be doing the interviews. But as time goes on, and she's hiring different experts and hosts of different podcasts and different things that she builds inside of the brand, we may get blessed to meet these people as well that are going to be working with her. So, thank you for wearing all those hats right now. I know it's not easy, especially running two brands at once. Sometimes it's like, where am I at? Where am I at? But you're doing it. You're standing tall and believing in yourself through everything you've been through, and helping others find ways that they can help themselves and create a community is what we really love about the Rediscover campaign.
Yeah.
It's not just a brand. It's not just a company. It's actually a whole community of people that are pulling together and helping each other out.
Yeah, that was really my goal with this, is to bring a community of women together in support of each other while still finding the time to find that self-love.
Wow, incredible. So no one's doing this out here too. By the way, this is something that is needed in this Antelope Valley community in the state of California, period. And she's the one that's doing this, right? Never seen anything like it, and you're doing it to create these professional, media pieces, the pictures, the videos, and also, like you said, the gala, the actual experience.
Yeah.
So so much stuff that's tying into it. So we just want to tell you thank you for all the positions that you have at Rediscover Campaign.
Well, thank you.
All right. So we're getting to some of the history of the expert. Let's see, who are two mentors that helped you become an expert in the self-help industry?
Oh, you know what? I would say that as of right now, I kind of just navigated it myself.
Okay.
Because I wasn't looking for the help.
Wow.
I literally was isolated in my home by myself. And I said, you know what, Amber, like, even if I was looking at certain YouTube stuff, I knew that the only way that I could get myself out was I had to do it myself.
Right.
And sometimes people do need that help. And after I created that community and building the Rediscover campaign, I realized that I'm truly inspired by other people's stories.
Okay.
And what they've been through and what they were able to overcome. And so I looked at it as like, okay, this is going to continue to push me to get better, to tell these women's stories. So in a way, I kind of created the Rediscover campaign for myself to pull myself out of that.
Okay. For sure. So you can actually be your own mentor, right? And so don't be afraid of that, right? And then as you go along your path, you will actually meet people that you may look up to, and their story really did inspire you and always continues to inspire you. So is there any stories from people that have inspired you to kind of keep it going and create that fire for this year?
Yes, so I mean that all the women have
Right.
incredible stories.
If you can, and as we continue to have you back on and get to know more of the campaign and these ladies themselves, but if you can just highlight two that really kind of stuck out to you, like, wow, you're really doing so many amazing things. I never even thought you were doing all this.
Yes, so I would say I met, and I believe everything happened for a reason.
Okay.
So I don't do a lot of collaborative shoots anymore, but there was a casting call and it said they wanted to do a shoot out in Orange County. And I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and make the drive. I don't know, something just told me. I wasn't getting paid for this, but it was just a collaborative effort.
Right.
I drove out there, I did the shoot, and she happened to have two friends in the shoot. One was a stylist and the other one's a makeup artist. And I started talking about my Rediscover campaign, and they fell in love with it.
Okay.
They didn't have time to join last year, but they were actually the first two women to join this year. And both of them dealt with cancer. So the stylist, her ex-husband actually passed, well, not ex-husband, late husband, passed away from cancer.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and then the makeup artist, she actually dealt with breast cancer. And she was able to overcome that. But their friendship led to them creating a nonprofit where they go out and they give cancer patients makeovers.
Wow.
So it's stories like that that inspire me. It's like the things that you went through, now you're paying it forward to others and you're helping them feel beautiful through probably the worst time in their life.
Wow.
So it's stories like that that I'm like, this is why I want to shine light and, tell these stories.
That is incredible.
Like,
you never know what somebody's going through, like you said, and for you to have this in the middle of all that, wow! You're helping people like have a reason to keep going, to have a reason to like smile and live and just believe in themselves. Like this is what the Rediscover campaign has created, and just so glad to learn about it because when death is a very challenging, difficult thing to deal with. Cancer is too. A lot of people have not made it past that. Some have, but just dealing with physically, mentally, just the waking up, not knowing if you're gonna make it to the next day or like make it through that day. But just having this and having you to be able to push them and be supporters of them through that is just so incredible. So thank you for that.
Yep, and I want to give a shout out to Rachel and Tao for creating Miracle Makeovers and also being a part of the Rediscover campaign.
Okay. Do you know anything about Miracle Makeovers? What?
I know that they're still kind of like in the beginning stages, but it's sort of kind of like the Rediscover campaign. But what they do is they go to the cancer patients and they ask them, do you want a full makeover? They give them a full makeover. Rachel does the makeup, Tao does the styling, and then they give them a photo shoot.
Okay.
To make them feel beautiful for the day.
Sounds incredible. Okay. Do you develop the programs for the Rediscover campaign, and what are the programs that you guys offer?
Yes. So last year it was just we do a photo shoot. You get your full makeup done. We do the video interview where you talk about your journey, and then I also have a list of questions that you'd answer. And then we did a journaling times art workshop where we just, we had an instructor, Michelle Harrison. She has her own publishing company,
Wow.
and she does affirmations and journaling. So she gave us different affirmations that we wrote down, or questions, journaling questions. And then Ashley, she's the one who did like the art covers for us.
Okay.
So just kind of reflecting on deeper questions that we ask ourselves. And then at the end of that, we do the gala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So the gala is basically everybody gets to dress up. All the women who join the Rediscover campaign, they get to see one picture that I took of them that's in black and white. That's a more artistic piece. And they get to see that for the first time. And it's in a 20 by 24 frame.
Huh.
And they get to take that home later. Some of the women get to tell their story live on stage. We have performances, food. It's a good time.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. And so this is something that happens once a year?
Yes, once a year.
And where does it happen? When is the next one coming up?
So last year we had it out here in Lancaster at Soul Plaza. They have a banquet hall right next to it. And then this year, I'm not sure where we're having it yet. So it depends on the location, like what venue gets back to me and what I could do. Because remember, I'm wearing all the hats right now. But it will either be out here or possibly out in Hollywood.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to happen every single July.
Okay, for real. Okay, so shout out to the gala that they're doing. Hopefully we can be there and kind of, grab some stuff there, either for the Champions Playbook, the business consulting firm that specializes in brand video creation, marketing, and brand partnership development, right? So if you need that kind of stuff done, go over there. But with the podcast, because that could be an incredible episode we can capture at the event. Can you picture that kind of backdrop of everything happening? Maybe not a full episode, but just to kind of recap everything that's going on to tie into a podcast. Be phenomenal, because that's kind of stuff you kind of think about when you think about developing a podcast. Like, how can we, like right here, we're in an office space, but how can we capture all of this in action, right? To see the actual gala. Like, if we knew each other around that time, wouldn't it? I mean, can you picture like everything happening in the background, shooting like a 20-minute episode and kind of encapsulating everything? How incredible would that have been, right? But that's the beauty of the future, because everything is building and growing. So these are the kind of ideas that we want to take off in the future. So let's make it happen.
Yes, I like that.
And are you only going to focus on it being an annual, or are you going to look to doing other events, maybe semi-annual, as the future goes on?
So my goal is to at least create a few workshops per year based on self-love. Like this year we have something called Love Fit with Deja, where it's like a Zumba affirmation class. We get out there, we're dancing, having fun, and we're just giving ourselves those affirmations while we do it. Another one is the journaling times art. I want to do that again this year with Michelle and Ashley. I have release therapy with Allende and Jody, which is a boxing and yoga combination class. And then what is the last one? Oh, a juicing class with Charity. So she's going to teach us how to juice. And it's like a 3-day detox that you can do with juicing. So those are some of the workshops that I have coming this year. And then, of course, I want to do maybe like smaller conferences where we can, get some of the women speaking about their experience and their journey. So that's definitely something in the future that I have in mind.
Wow. Okay. So a lot is going to be coming together with this. Like she said, conferences, workshops, and it's not limited to Antelope Valley. And is it possible for different states to get involved? Is that something that you would consider in the future?
Yes. So actually, I had a woman who she heard about the Rediscover campaign last year. Her name is Brittany. She has an incredible story too. But she flew from North Carolina.
She can?
Wow. She flew out twice. She flew out for her photo shoot interview, and then she flew out for the gala. And then I had another woman join this year who drove from Arizona to do her photo shoot. So Of course, you can come from anywhere if you're willing to do the drive, if you believe in what I'm trying to do.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to take the show on the road too?
Yes, yes. That is a goal of mine too, is to go from state to state, country to country, and just highlighting the people in their communities and sharing their stories.
Wow, because you just did something for your Kaylee Imagery business
Mm-hmm.
in New York for that, working with Top Shelf 17,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of seeing that come together, and of course making connections out there. How'd you like New York? Is that kind of something that you could see yourself Rediscover campaign
Mm-hmm.
going to New York doing something?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a friend out there. We were going to try to squeeze in the Rediscover campaign, but I think it was so last minute because I was thinking about everything else happening that I didn't think about, oh, I could have possibly, did my friend out there to be a part of it. But absolutely, I would love to travel and, highlight different women in different states.
Wow. So nothing's off the table. Like no
Yep.
states are off the table. No state is too small. No state is too big. So as this continues to grow and flourish and everything that it does, states be on the lookout. So don't think, oh, I'm in Texas. It's not for me. No, you can come. Like she already said, people came from North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all the way East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, that just shows is wherever you want to come from. Pretty soon, there's going to be people that come from Brazil, Europe, and France, wherever, just come be a part of it. Just to show that the reach of the Rediscover campaign is going to be incredible, which it already is. Like you said, people come from different states, but it's going to have its own footprint there with what the Rediscover campaign creates. So we want to definitely be on the lookout for that because it's really going to be incredible. Okay, let's see. Let's go over when the brand was launched. If you can give us like a year is fine.
Okay, so I remember this clearly because it was back in 2021. I came up with the idea one day and I woke up and it was 2021 in the summertime, so around July. And I think that's why I wanted to have the gala in July because it would mark an entire year from where it began. So yeah, July of 2021.
Okay, and then you got the ball rolling kind of quick.
I didn't even think about it. I just said, this is my idea. I had a rough concept of what I wanted to do. And I just ran with it. I took one of my black and white photos, one of my favorite black and white photos, and I created the Rediscover campaign, a journey of self-love and transformation. And I just started telling people about it.
Okay, for sure. So she's going over so many great things, how she got the ball rolling quick. She didn't play games. She stayed focused, dedicated, and knocked that ball out the park. From a year from when she thought about it, that's when she had her first gala.
Yep.
And this is going to be the second year anniversary. Bang, she's already knows when she's going to do it. People are coming up from Arizona and taking that long drive for her and her brand, something that was in her head. Bam, she created it. They come to her studio and get that thing done. So, it's really incredible what she's doing. So, what we're going to get into on the next part of this is what was the idea behind the name of the brand, right? So, stay tuned because that's really special. When you think about brands, it's like every brand has a name, but it's like, why? Right? But stay tuned because that's what we're going to get into next. Amber Bogard, Rediscover campaign. Let's go. All right, we are back here with Amber Bogard from Rediscover campaign. Great program for women self-help, but also creating a community for women to kind of rediscover themselves and be great at everything that they do. So I want to thank Amber for everything that she's doing, creating this program, and just kind of being excellent at everything that she's doing with creating this. This is going into the second year of the program actually being launched and everything going with it, but doesn't stop the fact that it's incredible and that she's doing that, created it. So we want to tell her thank you, and don't stop doing what you're doing because it's really special.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're getting into. Hold on. What was the idea behind the name of the brand?
So, when I was looking for, let me back up real quick, because in my photography business, I always wanted to do a campaign, So I had other ideas for campaigns. Um, but when I heard the name Rediscover, it's just happened to be at the same time that I was, trying to get back to who I was, or becoming the adult version of Amber, if that makes sense. Like finally becoming a woman and saying, okay, all this stuff has happened to me, but I'm not going to let that um, stop me from doing what I want to do in life, which is photography. I love photography. So Rediscover is basically kind of just is the name that I chose because I'm literally in the phase of rediscovering who I am, discovering parts of me that I never knew existed. And I know there's a lot of women who has gone through the same thing, or is currently going through the same thing.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, rediscovery is a big word too,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we need to stop what we're doing and just do that rediscovery.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, there's people that work jobs and there's like robots. That's what I call it. Just going. Energizer Bunny, going and going, but they never really like, hold on. Like they're like 30 and they're like, hold on, I'm 30. Like, hold on. I've been doing this for however long, I don't know, 10, 12 years. Never, like a lot of times, like when you start a job or start something, you never ask yourself, how long am I doing this? Mm-hmm. But then you kind of like can stop, like re-strategize and be like, well, no, I'm only going to be doing this for another year. Mm-hmm. And that's another place where the Rediscover campaign can help. You can see all these women entrepreneurs, executives in business, and just specialties in whatever they do, and say, wait, you did this in 2 years? Mm-hmm. Well, I thought this was impossible. Mm-hmm. Maybe I could start. I can learn from you. Mm-hmm. Do you have a program? Do you have something going? So I love the name. It's really incredible. And you used it. You rediscovered yourself. And now you're helping your whole brand and the whole industry of women's self-help do the same thing, right? With the photo shoots, with the interviews. So if we can get into that a little bit, kind of like the photo shoots and the interviews, what are you looking to create with these pieces of media that you create?
So for the actual photo, I have one photo in mind for each of the women, which is just like like a black and white portrait that will kind of tell their story in a way without them opening up their mouth. So, like a picture says 1,000 words, that phrase. That is my goal. My aim is to take a photo of each of these women and from their story, what they told me, to encompass their story in one photo. Okay. But of course, I'm going to have them write out their story to me as well. So I can have blog posts so people can go and read their story and see their picture at the same time. So that's my goal with the photo shoot. The interview piece is for them to actually express themselves and tell their story, share their story, share what they've been through. And my goal with that is to help inspire other women who are going through similar situations to lift them out of that, whatever it may be, whatever they're going through, and share that. Because sometimes my story, you can't relate to my story, but there's going to be a woman in the campaign that you can relate to. And you can feel like, okay, I'm not alone in this, or what I'm going through. And I want to share that over all social media platforms, and maybe even do like a real documentary series for that.
Okay. So with this documentary series, is it going to be like for person by person, or is it going to be like more like by topic or stuff like that? Like how's that going to go?
It might be by topic. I think I can go any which way, any direction. It could be maybe just 1 year following some of these women and what they go through, and maybe do a day in their life, and just get real intimate with these women and their stories.
Wow, look at that. I mean, the documentary stuff that's something I think it would be great to do too, just because you get a more intimate piece and you get to kind of, just like you said, day in their life, whatever somebody's doing, kind of like where they're at, what they're going through, get that behind the scenes piece and touch. Yeah. And the fact that you do own your own photography and videography brand with Kaylee Imagery makes it even better, because you kind of like tying them in. You're integrating vertically. These businesses work hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you have that and you want to create this media inside of that is just really incredible. So thank you for that, and thank you for all the interviews and photo shoots that you have already done. I mean, there's so much more you can do. I mean, we're in the West Coast, so we have a lot of beaches.
Yeah.
We have, a lot of great pieces like that you can do photo shoots at. Hollywood, right? I mean, those. I mean, it's just so much, right? That people love these areas too, as far as the beaches and Hollywood and so many other spaces. Of course, the Getty, right? There's so much different sceneries and backdrops there, and areas like that. We have Malibu, which there's so much incredible views. No, you've probably been there. I don't know if you've done any shoots in areas like that.
I have.
You have? Okay, so you kind of already have a kind of like a landscape area that you probably already could think about good local future projects that you want to do. Of course, we have the desert. Of course, we have nice lakes and things like that. So the fact that you've already created some great media pieces with the photo shoots and the interviews with those are fantastic pieces that you have done. If you can go over your most recent photo shoot, kind of the idea behind that and what you were able to capture with that would be kind of great to learn a little bit about exactly what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so my last photo shoot client for the Rediscover campaign was last Sunday. Yeah, last Sunday. Her name is Lily. She's an amazing woman, and she owns her own business actually on Palmdale Boulevard. But what we did was she kind of gave me full reign of what I wanted to do. She said, I want your style of photography, Amber, because I love your photography. So we kind of went with that. So for a lot of my photo shoots, I want to do like something basic, like what you would wear every day to make you feel comfortable. The next one would be like something more like dressed up or dramatic. And then if you have a business, I like to do headshots. I like to throw that in there for you. But then, of course, when she was telling me her story, I made sure to capture a photo that I believe would fit well with her story when it's displayed at the gala.
Okay, for sure. So that was just with, did you do multiple people or that was just that one?
No, that was just her. I do that with every woman who joins the campaign. We do at least 3 looks. We do the photo shoot, and then we do the interview piece.
Wow. Okay. Well, when is the Rediscover Men one? Because I need the photo shoot. I need the interview done. So when is that one coming?
I'm thinking about it because I actually already did like a small little podcast episode with my husband because I felt like he lost himself a little bit for real because we got married so young.
Okay.
We were 22 when we got married.
Wow.
We had our first kid at 21. Yep, 21. We got married at 22. We had a daughter at 23. He lost his parents. I, in a way, lost my parents. And we're still trying to navigate life together. And I feel like both of us kind of went through a phase where we lost ourselves. And I think it's important to not only share, women's voice. I just went with women because I'm a woman myself.
Right.
But I would love to at least 1 year share men and their stories.
Oh, it's going to be some brand. It's that powerful. Men are a lot of times, most cases, not all, just let it right. Not all. Most of the time, they are, what I want to say, they are the breadwinners for the family, and that creates a lot of stress when you're traveling and going so much and things like that. But I mean, as you get this one seated and set, I mean, that could definitely be something that you look to do in the future. Like you're already talking about it. So, I mean, like you say, when Amber does something, she knocks it out the park. So, she's going to make sure that everything is set and ready. Yep. So, as you build out your staff for the Rediscover campaign, and maybe opportunity for a male to get in there and, do his thing and help with the launching of that side of things too. So, Amber has her hands in a lot of areas. She's a lot of different places and what she's doing with her brand. And thank her for that too, right? To kind of just forward thinking, always thinking of how she can push the envelope, but also keep the integrity and the strength in her brands as well.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Just kind of always thinking about what's next, what's new, what's important for the self-help community, right? Because people need it, right? We don't need any more of these mass shootings, situations that happen, kids that have to lose their lives for no reason. When you can join a community of positive, forward-thinking people and look at opportunities and create a better opportunity for yourself, your family, and so you don't have to go down that route. Do stuff like that, and it's going to make the world a lot better place to live in, right? Because purpose does that.
Yeah.
Like she said, this is her purpose. We have to have purpose. She found hers, and it's making the world a better place because she has found her purpose. Okay, so we're going to get into the VIP pay for value part of this, right? It's the value over delivery system. That's how we feel that makes the world go round, is value over delivery, right? Because some people don't always have money, but you don't always need money. Sometimes just show up. If you just show up and help out, maybe somebody will look out for you. Like, what do you need? Just because you showed up, we had a different mindset to show up and make a positive impact and deliver value. Okay? So let's get into that. Let's see. And if you want to catch this, go to brainsexpertspodcast.com/club to see the entire piece of this part. It's VIP. So let you know where to go. Need. What big problem does your brand solve with the Rediscover campaign?
I think the need that it solves is it's more than just a photo shoot, right? And then it's more than just getting together with women, like just a workshop. I think it provides a full experience for women to kind of self reflect on what they've overcome and to share that and actually to sit still for a minute and even say, you know what, maybe I do need a little more self love. So I think that's the need that it feels is like it kind of stops you and says, I didn't think there's anything out there like this, but I could really use it. So I think it's something that women didn't know that they needed.
Okay, for sure. And why I think it's a big problem because what I want everybody to remember with this pay for value thing is, and especially with the overvalue delivery system, is solve a big problem. Because some people think like, okay, I'm going to make tacos and then it's going to make me $1 million. Like it could, but you have to look at your average. If your average taco is $5, how many tacos? And say you only profit like I don't know $1.50 each taco. How many tacos? So you probably have to $1.50. Let's just say $1. You have to sell 1 million tacos. You know how long that may take you, and then you have to live, pay bills, all this kind of stuff. She's doing something to where it could be a corporate client or a school and come in, want her to work for them for a whole year, for 3 days a week, fly her out every month, do this whole project. That may be $1 million just at one school. But they may look at it and say, you know what? We're actually helping our students, our female students actually, take off and do different things. Because and people will say, well, how is that worth $1 million? Well, she can come in and say, well, listen, I'm bringing in speakers every month. I'm doing workshops every month. I'm doing photo shoots every month. I'm doing interviews every month. And so this is a project for them to meet entrepreneurs, to meet business owners, to meet all these people that are coming in speaking. They're getting their professional photos. They're getting interviewed about their experience, about this university, about how it was and things like that. That's easily worth over $1 million. She solved a big problem. There's a big payoff. Because of course, she might not take home $1 million because she's going to have to pay for a lot of different, moving parts. That's why you solve a big problem. Think bigger, solve bigger, and bigger reward, and just bigger and better off for you. So that's why I always want to strive for solving a big problem, not a small problem. I mean, it's up to you. You can start with a small problem and turn it into a big problem, but if you start thinking big, the reward and payoff will be better, quicker. Okay, just think about that. Okay, so we're still here with Amber Bogard from Rediscover Campaign, incredible brand. We just want to thank her for coming in and doing an interview, right, for Brands Experts podcast, right? She's an expert in the self-help industry, right? Has a fully launched brand. It's already doing this thing. Go in the description and check out the links because everything is there. Nothing's hidden from you. It's all right there. You come over a little bit to the side. There you go. Cool. So we're going to get into a couple more things, then we're going to get into the testimonial part of it to kind of see exactly how she felt about it and see if she's going to, come back and, see if we could continue to create this incredible content with her. Okay. So if a brand wants to partner with Rediscover campaign, how do they get involved, and what brands are you looking to partner with? If you have any in particular, you can name those, and any industries in particular, you can name those too.
Okay, so you can definitely reach out to me by any of my Instagrams. I have two, I think two or three. I don't know. I have a lot. My website, by email.
We got to get those names. Some people are just with their pen right now. What
like,
is it? What is it?
Okay, so my photography page, Kayleen Imagery, which I run full time. It's Kayleen_imagery. You could do the Rediscover Instagram, and it's Rediscover CA.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I have to look at it.
She'll put in. It'll be in the description too. Yes. So, but the first one for sure, you can go there and start the conversation, and go from there.
And then www.rediscoveringselflove.com.
Okay.
And some of the brands that I would love to work with is, there's this app where you can get on-demand like therapy sessions and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's like BetterHelp. I would love to partner with them, possibly allow some of these women to get in touch with these therapists more easily. I would say like any kind of makeup brands, anything where you empower women.
Okay.
So I would love to work with different brands in that way, or any kind of experts in the field of, counseling or sound baths, anything that we can just kind of recenter ourselves and focus on ourselves.
Okay. And what about the city of Lancaster and the city of Palmdale? Because since this is the home base for right now, where everything's going, the city needs to know about what you guys are doing, because when there's women that are going through things that are lost, or whatever the case is, they need to know that there's a resource to help them to kind of get back on track, or whatever the case. If they lose their job or whatever is going on, or they're moving up in their career and they're looking at new marketing opportunities and great organizations that have communities for them to network with other women, great events. The cities need to know about that. So if anybody's involved with the city of Lancaster and the city of Palmdale, California, make sure you guys check that out. Even the city of Los Angeles, Orange County as well. She's looking to grow as far as in venues and opportunities, workshops and things like that. So definitely reach out. She's definitely open to hear about the different projects that these cities and communities want to do to help out women and things like that. Because women are a critical part to families and also community as well. So reach out to Ember, and she will definitely let you know exactly what she is offering, how she can help you. Okay. Let's get into a few more things, and we'll get into the testimonial piece of it. Okay. What makes the Rediscover campaign unique as a brand? There's a lot of different brands that are doing self-help for women, but this one is a little bit different.
I think that this is like speaking with the everyday woman. It makes a difference because I'm highlighting and shedding light and sharing stories for the everyday woman and what they've been through with different topics. I highlighted 21 women last year, and it all went from, we discussed domestic violence, sexual abuse, molestation, strokes, women who went through strokes, health conditions. We touched on the topic, depression, suicide attempt. We talked a lot about different things, and I feel like we highlight so many different women that it's bound to inspire another woman somewhere. And it's a full circle experience. So you're not only just doing a photo shoot, but you're doing an interview. I have the podcast coming where I'm going to talk more intimate details with these women. I have the book that's going to be a yearly book that's going to highlight the women with their portraits and their stories. I have, it's the gala, the workshops. So it's an all-encompassing experience for these women.
Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for making it a full wraparound service. That it's not just, it's what we do. it's not just that, it's we actually create a full environment for you to flourish. I think that's something else that makes it unique, because it's not just this is what we're doing today and go home. No, it's like you get to kind of learn how to use what you're doing and how to be a part of a community.
Yep.
So thank you for that, because you're the only brand that I know that's doing that. Right? Big world, a lot of different brands and companies, and here we go. Here's the one that's actually doing it. Big problem, and you're the one that's going to solve it. It's already
that makes me excited.
Oh yes, already 21 women. This is how much you love it. You know the exact number. Like it's already
21 women last year, and I'm on 10 women this year.
Wow.
My goal is to get to 18 for this year, to highlight at least 18 women.
Okay.
But I never know, because last year in the last month before I was going to cut it off, I had like 9 women join that last month. So me and my makeup artist were very busy.
All right. I think it's going to be 42 because the way you're going, your momentum, your passion for it, it's just going to grow and expand. The energy that these women give off in these interviews, see it, and just so incredible. So thank you for that. So, and it's so much that we didn't get to, but we're gonna have Rediscover campaign on for another episode, right? Okay,
absolutely.
So we're gonna get to it. There's so much you need to know about
a lot
this
of
brand.
details, yeah.
A lot. But one important one we are gonna make sure we get to right now is, how does Rediscover campaign have fun as a brand? You know, a lot of brands, what is it? Get up, go to work, go home. Get up, go to work, go home, and do this in a circle until you feel like quitting or going crazy. But if you can have fun with what you do, whether working in the brand or as a client, it makes you always want to be involved, because live life, have fun.
Yeah.
So how are you guys making sure you guys have fun as a brand?
So
one more thing, if you can get into first inside of the brand as far as how you guys do that, and then as far as with the clients you guys work with.
Okay, so inside the brand, it's really just me and my makeup artist, right? So I think we built a very good relationship. But I think it's just, we just love what we do. Like, we can go to work, she'll be like, oh my gosh, this makeup is so good. And she'll just be in her own little world because she loves what she does. And the same thing with me. I'm like, if you see me take a picture of you and I do this, oh my gosh, my clients start laughing right away, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. Like, I just love seeing that photo. So I'm having fun myself, if that's what you mean. I'm not big enough. I mean, I go on my walks, my hikes by myself. That's how I have fun.
Okay. No, for sure. It's good that you have fun, you know? Yeah. I mean, because there's just so many different ways you can do it, right?
Yeah.
And also, how do you do that with your clients too?
So I make sure that I ask them, like, what kind of music do you like? So we always got the jams playing, you know, we having fun. When I start shooting, I just want to let them know, like, if you feel like dancing, start dancing, you know? And then, of course, me behind the camera, the way that I act, taking the pictures, I make my clients laugh a lot of the time too. So we're just having fun. We're talking back and forth. Sometimes I'll put the camera down if we, you know, start having a conversation, and we'll talk for like 5 minutes before I start shooting again. So it's just creating that environment where we can talk. It feels comfortable. Like, it's like we're not even doing anything, you know,
right. Having a good time.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's special, because most businesses, they don't think about having a good time. You know, but the way you're talking about it, like music going, like, you know, hey, we're doing this, and lunchtime, what you guys want, like that kind of an environment, especially because you work jobs. Yeah. They don't care about that. It's like, are you back at work? That's all they care about. Is the family ready to shoot? Let's go. It's not, you guys having fun? They don't even ask that. It's just so unfortunate. Like, they don't want to have fun. They just want to treat it like you're a robot, like you're a washing machine. Like, start you and end you. It's terrible. It's not how that.
Yep.
So we're going to get to the testimonial piece of this to kind of, you know, see how she felt about being on this podcast. I'm going to let you know before we get to that part that I had a blast. It's always, when it comes to with Amber Bogard, it's always better than I think it's going to be. You know, I always think it's going to be great, and she always over delivers. All right, so I just want to thank her for that. But let's get into it. What did you enjoy? We'll do the short answer on this one, and then we go again. We'll do the long answer, if that's okay, because we're a little bit pressed for time.
Yes.
She has things to do. We have things to do, and so we'll get to that piece, but we're not going to be too long. What did you enjoy about being on this podcast?
Well, I think, like I said before, it's just like you have your questions ready to go. Yeah. You always have feedback, and it's a good conversation.
Okay. Would you recommend other brand owners and experts that work inside of brands come on this podcast?
Yes, absolutely. You got to talk about what you're doing so people know what you're doing. So you got to get on the podcast. Okay, Brands Experts Podcast.
Man, the way she put it, that's what it is. Brands Experts Podcast. Let's go. That's what it is. Do you feel like filming this podcast has made your brand and yourself more comfortable with getting on podcasts in the future?
Yes, absolutely. Especially video podcasts because I told you I like to be behind the camera, but people
She in front.
yes, people who say, Amber, you have a great brand, you need to put yourself out there. It's made me a lot more comfortable to talk about what I'm doing.
Okay. Will Rediscover campaign be getting back on the Brands Experts podcast?
Yes, absolutely. Especially if you come to the gala.
Okay.
And you cover that, and then you gotta, you know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take it to the next level.
Maybe get some women on.
Okay. So you got experts that got brands, and you know they do anything. You want to meet them. You want to fully integrate.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a brand that you recommend us invite on this podcast?
You know what? Yes. The first one was Gifted with Allende. This one I think would be good with Michelle.
Okay.
And she hosted, or she was the instructor for the journaling workshop that I did. So she has her own publishing and journaling company.
Okay, so thank you for that. So we're going to be reaching out to Michelle. She's going to also let Michelle know. She's going to also send her this episode and let Michelle know how much she enjoyed being on this podcast and how great this was for her brand and how, it in the first month they got like 10,000 views and it was like her biggest YouTube video so far. That's what we want. Yeah. We don't want to play around with this. Let's go. 2023 Brands Experts Podcast, Amber Bogard, Rediscover campaign. That's how we do it. Real quick, we want to place everybody with something special. If people are struggling with self-help and launching whatever they want to do, what is some advice that you provide to them for kind of getting to that level of what they're trying to do?
I would say, focus on yourself. You have to kind of sit back and figure out what you want. If it's reading books, going on walks, writing, journaling, anything like that, I say just take the time to actually sit with yourself and figure out what you really want and take action. Don't just sit in those thoughts. You got to actually start taking action after you take those first steps.
Okay, for sure. And let everybody know where to find you, where to find the Rediscover campaign, and any projects that you have coming up right now in the next 6 months to a year.
So you can find me at Kayleen_imagery, Rediscover CA, or www.rediscoveringselflove.com. And the Rediscover campaign is my passion project, my baby, my purpose. So you should just be looking out for that everywhere, I guess you could say.
Okay, and let's know. Oh, well, you don't know the exact date yet?
July, right? So no, not July. I would say it's either going to be on the 15th or the 22nd, which is a Saturday in July.
Okay, so let's stay focused. Let's stay tuned for all that. We have an incredible expert right here, Amber Bogard, coming on for this episode with the Rediscover campaign. She's definitely going crazy, staying focused, and we just want to make sure that we're a part of it as far as covering it, as far as providing her and the brand with their flowers, and continue for them to continue to do incredible things because that's what they're doing. They're going to continue that. So, stay blessed, stay focused, and stay expert in everything you do. We'll be checking you out on the next episode of Brands Experts Podcast.
Bye.
For checking out this episode of the Brands Experts Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out all our socials like Instagram. Make sure you check out our website, and make sure you check out our VIP, brandsexpertspodcast.com. Exclusive VIP stuff, interviews, exactly how to make money, exactly how to partner with great brands. These are things you need to know, right? You got to remember, if you want to get to where you need to go, you need to pay for that, right? That's how you're paying for that value that you need. So make sure you go over there, check that out. And we're here for you. Brands Experts Podcast. Let's go.